Well, let's get right to this, Sarah. We got a big question for you.
Yeah. What about the suburbs makes you think that could be the place for you?
The extra space is a big deal. Having a basement, having a backyard.
Yep.
Cherie, let's talk about the urban vibe. What is it about the city that you just love?
I love the walkability factor.
Right.
I love to be able to just take the kids, go for a walk, go to the community centers, go to the parks.
Now, what makes you think you can't do that in the suburbs? I'm going to prove you wrong.
But the biggest, most important point for us is commute time to work.
Yeah.
So if we move to the burbs, I'd never see them.
I think the message is clear. Team Urban versus Team Suburban.
Team Suburban. Come here, buddy.
It's going to be an easy victory, eh, Cherie?
That's right.
See you on the battlefield.
And you'd never guess they're filming in Vancouver with that rain. Joining us now, you just saw them in the clip, are Philip DuMoulin and Sarah Daniels. I'm calling them the Dooms now, Urban Suburban.
Dooms.
On HGTV.
Big Doom, Little Doom.
Yep.
Is that what it always was? Big Doom, Little Doom?
Well, I was the oldest one, right? So it's always the oldest is like, and he was when he was in high school at St. George's and I was at Crofton House. It was like, Little Doom.
For those who don't know, brother, sister, Urban Suburban.
Yes.
We're going into season 2. You guys were filming in Vancouver, of course. But where else have you been traveling? I'm keeping up on your Twitter, and you're everywhere.
We are everywhere. We've been Halifax, Montreal, Ottawa. We just got back from Saskatoon and Regina. Obviously, Vancouver, Victoria, Calgary, Edmonton. We've been everywhere.
Crazy. How much do you learn about real estate? I mean, obviously, you guys are experts anyway, but your expertise is always Vancouver, right? The market that you're working in.
That's where we're licensed
It
in
must
BC,
be fascinating to see how other markets work in other areas of the country.
Could you believe the prices in Saskatoon and Regina? And you're gonna think that I'm gonna say it's so inexpensive.
Really?
Yeah. They've gone crazy.
Yeah.
It's gone crazy in Saskatoon and Regina. And it's interesting because people have really moved out to the suburbs. And the suburbs in those areas are the equivalent of driving from your studios here, Shaw Studios, to Kitsilano.
Okay,
that's how long the drive is.
Give me a financial definition of crazy, because crazy in Vancouver is like $2 million for West Side, right?
We were a 10-minute drive out of downtown Regina, and about a 1,700 square foot rancher walkout basement, $750,000.
Crazy, crazy.
Yes,
Regina.
and downtown Regina, very close to the Parliament buildings. Beautiful area right through there, like along the riverfront. Homes that looked much like what you'd find in Rosedale, Shaughnessy, Westmount, like the mucky-muck areas of Vancouver. $3 million?
Yeah.
Well, and for Regina,
I never would have guessed. That's insane.
Are the rules in markets like being close to water, is it always worth more, or does it change per market?
Well, you know, it obviously changes per market, obviously. I mean, Vancouver, we're an anomaly out here. We're a defined area. We got mountains, a border, agriculture, land reserve, and water. But, you know, every area we go, there's always a nice area. Doesn't matter. There's always a Shaughnessy and Regina or wherever it may be. So you're going to have your greater areas. Absolutely. Your Yorkville to Yaletown. There's always something that's comparable to what we have here.
Okay, let's talk season 2. You guys have some very interesting couples. We've got, do we have our first same-sex couple season 2?
Yes, we do.
Yes, Kevin and Leon.
Yeah, they were awesome. They were really fun. We really enjoyed having them on, and they were hilarious. I mean, really, really battling. Really battling.
really
battling. Suburban or just in general?
It's much more of a conflict this season you know, we've got, basically it ends up being sort of teams. My team, which is generally me and one of the members of the couple, and then Philip and the other person, and it's like, it gets nasty.
Well, because you're not just trying to decide on lifestyles, you're trying to change someone else's mindset about lifestyle. Is that the big challenge for most people, is getting over the mental hurdle of what urban versus suburban means?
The show's definitely gone more to the couples who are struggling. One wants to remain in the city because maybe mom and dad are still there, and one's from the suburbs. So, you know, there's been battles. We haven't seen a lot of them, but our directors have told us we've had tears inside the houses. And
really?
It's been a real struggle.
I
am not moving here, you know,
It's over.
It's over.
You know, a lot of it's really, I mean, you know, a lot of couples, they haven't spent any time in the suburbs, for instance, and that's usually the most common thing. And people have this mindset, if I move to the suburbs, I'm going to have to buy mum jeans. I'm going to have to hand in.
They came with the house.
Yeah, they come with the house, and I'm going to have to hand in my cool card, and I'm going to have to buy a minivan, and it's all over. And you know,
all those things are true.
No,
not true.
No, I'm still cool.
She's still suburban, right?
You're wearing your.
There are no mom jeans over here with Doom, Big Doom.
No, Big Doom is not in mom jeans.
No.
I think it's such an interesting conundrum that every family's been through. I mean, my family did both urban and suburban when we were growing up, and it's such a huge lifestyle change. Is there anything that surprises you guys about what people are considering when it comes to urban?
You know, the city's so traditional. So everybody pretty much knows what they're going to get with the city. They're going to have the conveniences right at their doorstep, which is the great thing about being down here.
Don't have to use your car that often.
Open your door to your, you know, the lobby of your condo, and everything is at your doorstep. So what I'm trying to sell them is, look, you're going to be able to get down to one car, possibly no car. You're going to have all the conveniences, and you're going to have the traditional services too. Typically, your schools are, you know, they've been around for years. There's more traditional services, whether you need a specialist or anything like that.
Yeah.
So
all right, Suburban, chime in. What
well, you know,
are the
interesting thing is, like I was going to say, is Saskatoon and Regina and cities like that. They're smaller cities, and a lot of people are moving to the suburbs, which literally are like as far away as Kitsilano is from down here. Yeah. So it's nothing. And a lot of the downtown cores, you know, sort of older, and then these cities have started to boom in the last 5 or 10 years. So the spread has been out towards the suburbs, the newer homes, and that's also where the new businesses are. So you'll find like all your bigger box stores, your chain stores. Like interestingly enough, when I was in Saskatoon, which is a very pretty little town, and I say little town, there's somebody's going to phone me up and go, "We're a city," but you know, it's not as necessarily vibrant in downtown Saskatoon. As much going on as there is in the suburbs.
They haven't brought everything back into the city.
Yeah,
like
so I mean, it'll be interesting to see. I mean, like how they revitalize. I would think that there's going to have to be some tax credits and all that going on for business downtown.
The key, if I may say, to the success of this show is the ability of couples to live vicariously through the decisions that are made. Do people stop you on the street now, Philip, and sort of chime in on urban versus suburban? They yell urban suburban at you?
Is it urban?
Little Doom, you get any urban suburban out the window?
Well, you know, Sarah being in television for 10 years prior too, I mean, she's certainly more noticed in British Columbia. So, you know, more people, it's funny now because you do get the strange looks, but not yet. So I would imagine after season 2 when we see
Palm Springs.
Well, it's,
Well, that's, now there's suburban.
Expats.
There you go.
But you do, I mean, people really, my wife and I, when I watch it, you know, we're very sort of similar in our mindset, my wife and I, but we still have that debate, right? Like when you see what you can get
I know.
outside of the city center versus you see that temptation to sort of live a slightly quieter life.
Man. Acreage.
It is more of it's a different argument for Vancouver, obviously, because the suburbs are that much more farther away. However,
always a bridge or a
having said that, I mean, you work in the downtown core. A lot of people that might move to Burnaby or Richmond, Maple Ridge, actually work in the towns, the cities that they live in. So that makes it a lot different. In some areas, like we're saying, Regina, Saskatoon, a lot of the business might be downtown, but the living tends to be a little bit farther out. But then again, we're talking about cities of 250,000 people. I mean, we've got 250,000 people within about 50 feet of this room.
That's right.
So, you know, it's totally different in that sense.
All right, you can tune in and watch the Dooms on a brand new season of Urban Suburban. You know I'm calling you that for the rest of your lives. It premieres with back-to-back episodes on Tuesday, August the 28th at 5 o'clock on HGTV Canada. You can go to the website to find out more information.
And you know they made it last year because the first season had a marathon, and I'm sure they'll do it again this year. You guys, thank you so much. That's awesome. We're going to take a break.